Roman educator and rhetorician Quintilian provided a vision of an ideal education, an education that begins in the cradle, ends at the grave, that is intentionally built from the ground up and with the end in mind. Quintilian was convinced that the early stages of education were crucial to the formative development of a mature, virtuous student, and likened these early stages to the necessary hidden foundations of a cathedral, without which the visible rooftop could not stand. Quintilian writes, "One cannot reach the top in any subject without going through the elementary stages. I shall certainly not refuse to stoop to those matters which, though minor, cannot be neglected without blocking the way to greater things. I shall proceed exactly as if a child were put into my hands to be educated as an orator, and shall plan his studies from his infancy. The Cambridge School is dedicated to preparing the next generation intentionally and from a young age to think well, love rightly, and live wisely, using the classical Christian model of education, a paradigm that has endured for millennia. Understanding this model begins, as it did in Quintilian's day, with the trivium, grammar, logic, and rhetoric, the first three of the 7 liberal arts. While these liberal arts are specific areas of study, at the Cambridge School, they also refer to educational stages in the development of each student. Quintilian saw these stages as educational scaffolding upon which students could construct a thorough education. By progressing through the stages of the trivium, students form excellent habits of mind and soul, cultivating wisdom and virtue. And throughout history, this framework and posture toward education has developed some of the greatest minds in Western civilization. Distinctive Cambridge activities like weekly memory time, phonics and grammar lessons, as well as informal and formal logic instruction, directly correlate to later rhetorical activities and goals. In the end, Quintilian believed in an intentionally scaffolded education that was sensitive to the developing abilities of a student over time. This kind of education begins with careful and intentional work at the younger stages, which powerfully shapes students and is absolutely necessary for later development in the logic and rhetoric stages. At the Cambridge School, this work is done as a whole school. We are not merely foundation layers, structural engineers, or roofers, but we collectively undertake the role of architect builders, ensuring that the earliest stages of learning are shaped by the latter stages, and that those latter stages build something worthy of those strong foundations. Imitating a teacher's humility and kindness, reciting works from memory, becoming characters from literature and history, and even roasting a pig for the medieval fair, not only cultivate real learning, academic enthusiasm, and character formation, but it also lays the essential groundwork upon which later stages are built.